Welcome to today's class. We are going to have a de-stressing class today. Every yoga class should in inverted commas, should be a de-stressing class. That is the purpose of yoga, being able to let go and release external tensions. But we will spend more time in meditation, so it will be a shorter movement practice today with the longer guided meditation. And we will start, as we always do, coming into whatever a comfortable seated position is for you today. Remembering you can have your back supported in a chair with the wall. If your hips are feeling tight, maybe get a block or a cushion underneath your backside just to lift the pelvis up. Be tall through your spine again. We're sitting and we're tall through our spine. What I want you to check is that the tailbone's not tucked under. We want to be able to sit forward onto the sit bones, so that the pelvis is more in that upright position to allow the spine to lift, and that's where the block or pillow can be really helpful if you are tight in at the lower back or in at the hips. And let's take an exhale, releasing out as much pressure and tension as we might be holding on to. And then can we take a steady inhale, ideally through the nose if you can, but if through the nose today is not working for you, breathe how you need to. Check where your head's at. Is your head sitting forward of your body? And if it is, can we draw the ears back so that the ears are over the shoulders? And observe how you're sitting. Does this feel comfortable? And if it's not feeling comfortable today, just adjusting yourself till you get into a comfortable position. And it's up to you if you have your eyes closed at this moment or have your eyes open. Let the back of the hand rest on your lap. And let's bring the thumb and index finger together. Just let the fingertips gently touch. Take your awareness into the right hand and become aware of the sensation between those two fingers on the right hand. Then take your awareness over to the left hand. Be aware of the sensations, and then can you get an awareness of the sensations of both hands at the same time? We're going to make our way across the fingers, just doing that same thing. So let's move the thumb to the middle finger. Take your awareness into the right hand. Over into the left. And both hands together. Now while you're doing this, I want you to be sure that you're not holding your breath. So maybe use the pace of your breath to pace your tension and movement. So maybe at the end of the next exhale, we move the thumb to the ring finger. And we take a full round of breath at the right hand. I've been aware of the sensations, and then to the left hand, a full round of breath, being aware of the sensations. And both hands together for a full round of breath. And you'll obviously move at the pace of your breath. And then when you're ready to go to the pinky and do the same thing. One hand, full round of breath awareness, then the other, and both together. And then going back to that index finger when you're ready. So we'll maybe do a couple of rounds across the fingers just at your own pace. Observing sensations that arise. Even observing the speed of your breath. And if you forget the pattern, it's one hand, full round of breath, the other hand, full round of breath, both hands together, full round of breath, and then moving the thumb onto the next finger. And at any point, if your mind starts to wander or you get distracted by other things, just when you're ready to bring your awareness back into this practice, and just for another couple of rounds a day. And don't worry if you're nowhere near completion of a round of your fingers. And then when you're ready to, when you're at the end of an exhale where you've had your attention on both hands together, start to wiggle the fingers out. If your eyes are closed, maybe start to flutter the eyes open and just freestyle move the body however feels good, however feels nice. What parts of your body are calling for your attention to be moved, and in what way do they want to be moved? Let's go into our hand massage. If you are using any oils or creams, we will get them. And then oil up. And if you're not, you just start rubbing your hands together to generate some heat. And then moving your one hand around the other to get in to all the bones, all the space, all the muscles, all the spaces in around the hands and wrists. And how things feel. Observing and thinking about what's been going on for you the last few days. If you've been feeling stressed, you might have been holding fists, holding tension in your hands. If you've been busy doing work things, whatever that is, whether it's crafts or whether it's typing or writing, baking, cooking, whatever you're doing, we use our hands in so many of our actions. And then when you're happy that you've given both hands a sufficient massage, let's link the fingers and give a squeeze. And as we give that squeeze, can we check what's going on at the shoulders? Can we check our posture? Can we check that we're breathing? And then let's link the fingers the other way, do the same thing. So hopefully we've been doing this now for quite a while. Hopefully it doesn't feel as alien when you switch the fingers over as it did maybe the very first time that you did it. Switch it back, give a squeeze and switch it back and give a squeeze. Then shake the hands off. Adjusting our position so that we can access our feet. We will get our feet done. So remembering pillows here can be really useful, or a bolster if you've got one, to let your thigh rest on so that your hips don't get tight while we're easing out the feet. So again, if you're using a cream or oil, load up, and if you're not, just start rubbing into the feet to warm and stimulate the area. A little bit of friction here is good to generate some warmth, especially if feet are feeling a bit fresh in this colder weather. Notice your posture as you're doing this. Be aware that you're not holding your breath. If your shoulders are up around your ears, can you drop them down? When you have made sure that you've massaged in all through the sole of the foot, all through the top of the foot and around the ankle, not to forget any part. Every part of your foot is important. When you're ready to, let's go to each toe individually. We pull the toe long with the toe in the pads and go for a couple of circles in each direction. And then you know what's coming next. We're going to take hands with our feet. So we start by just sliding the fingers between the toes and sliding them back out. So just warming up that space. Easing in. And then when you're ready to, can you slide the fingers in enough to be able to take hold of the top of the foot, so pressing the palm of the heel of your hand into the ball of your foot, other hand holding towards the back of the foot, and then can we pull long and then get a bit of a twist in there. And wiggling that around. And then can we keep the fingers in between the toes and try and relax the foot and circle it around so we're getting this movement in at the ankle. And then when you're ready to sliding the fingers out and releasing that down. Adjusting your position to access the other side. Massaging in here, touching into every part of your foot. Just noticing any differences on this side. When you're ready to go into the toes, pulling each toe along, in a circle, and then you've done that, start to slide the fingers between the toes. Again, just moving them in, bringing them out, moving them in, bringing them out. Just trying to work that space in. And then when you're ready to, can we take hold, take hands with our foot, heel of the hand into the ball of the foot, pulling the toes long, wringing the foot out. And then can we maybe let go of the back of the foot and get some ankle circles in there. Just keeping the foot as relaxed as possible so you're moving it round with your hands. And then when you're ready to slide in the fingers out. And let's make our way onto our back. So coming onto our back, having our knees bent, soles of the feet resting into the floor. We'll place one hand on the lower part of our tummy, the other hand on the upper part of our tummy. And find your posture. So just like we do in Pilates, the back of the neck long, chest open, shoulder blades drop to the floor, ribs tucked in, pelvis in a neutral-ish position. Feet and knees roughly hip width apart. And we're just going to focus on our breath to start with to create some movement within the abdominal area. So as you're taking the breath in, if you can, through the nose, and think about sending the energy of the breath down into the hands at the lower part of your tummy. We also want to fill into the back of the body, so we're really trying to expand to the full capacity of the lungs. And sometimes it's easier to do that if we slow the breath down rather than trying to take a bigger breath. If we try and breathe in too much too quickly, the breath will get stuck in the upper part of the chest. So thinking about making your breath as slow as is comfortable for you. And you're sending the energy of that breath down towards the pelvic floor, down towards that lower hand, but also into the back. And just observing that gentle rise and fall that's happening. And if you bring your awareness into the back of the body, to where the skull, the back of the rib cage and the back of the pelvis come in contact with the floor. As you're taking your inhale, just observe if pressure changes in any parts of the back. And then as you're exhaling, do you observe any change there? So as you're following that breath in and out, what you might observe is almost like a gentle wave sensation down the spine. So there'll be parts of your back that as you're inhaling, there'll be parts of the back that slightly rise away from the floor, and then as they're exhaling, they slightly soften back down. And it's very subtle, very gentle movement. But if you can imagine the breath flowing in and flowing out the way that a wave comes into shore and then gently moves out, we can create that kind of sensation within our body, allowing the subtle movements to happen through the spine. We're not forcing any movement here. We're not trying to make the movement happen. All we're trying to do is to use the full capacity of our lungs to slow the breath down, to fill the lungs up, and to use that internal movement to create the external movement. And if you're not moving a lot, if your body's really tight, if your body's really stiff, just know that on a very subtle, even more subtle than you can sense, there will be movement happening there. We'll do this for another couple of rounds of breath, just getting that steady flow. And then with the next rounds of breath, let your head gently roll to one side. So still keeping that breath as smooth as you can, just the head that's moving. Turning the skull in one direction. And then maybe do that on one part of the breath, and then on the next part of the breath, bring it back to the centre. And then on the next part of the breath, your head rolls to the other side. And the next part of the breath, it rolls back. And just using the speed of your breath, a very gentle movement at the head and the neck. So no force in the movement, no force in the breath. And you can keep going with your hands rested on your tummy if that feels beneficial. Or you can move your hands away from the body and start to take your knees the opposite way from your head. So using that one part of the breath to rotate, next part of the breath to come up to the centre, next part of the breath to rotate to the other side, next part of the breath to come back to the centre. It's just being slow, gentle, subtle with the movement, subtle with the breath, never forcing We're expecting the body to go into a particular shape here. But exploring what and where you might be holding tensions. So you might be staying just moving the head only. You might have come into moving the legs with the head. Another option when you come back to the centre would be to cross one leg over the other. And then keep going very gently with those rotations. So if you're crossing your leg over, maybe do one to each side with one leg crossed and then switch to the other side. But you can also have the option that you're just staying with the breath and only moving your head. Depends what's going on in your body, depends what your body needs. But whatever the movement is, it's intentional, it's gentle, and it's in connection with that breath. So if you were doing the leg cross, one to each side, and then switch the leg cross. So if you're doing the legs going from side to side, we'll maybe do 2 more to each side, just so you've got an opportunity. If you are doing the leg cross, to do 1 more round each way. And if you're ready, know that you have balanced yourself out with your movements. You can stop whenever you're ready to stop. And then when you're ready to bring the knees up into the chest. And the legs can be close together, they can be wide apart, depending on what your body needs. With a gentle rock, so maybe using your hands to pull the leg to create that movement. Allowing as much of the back of your body to come in contact with the floor as possible. Getting that massage in. And then from here, using your hand to roll yourself onto your sides. And then just gently keep rolling until you come over into child's pose. And then in child's pose, have your legs as close and as wide as feels comfortable for you, and see how far forward you can slide your hands, but still keeping your back sides down on your heels. Now you might want to lift the palms up and press the fingers in to get more stretch in through the armpits. And use your breath as a good feedback loop here. So if you're fighting with the breath to get it in, then you're pushing your body too far. So just ease back and find that space where you can get the breath. And it might be that you ease back to take an inhale. And then on the exhale, go back in for that longer stretch, if that's what the body's telling you that it needs. On your next inhale, go up onto the knees just for a moment and walk your hands off to one side. And then as you're exhaling, let the hips sink back so that you're in this side bench child's pose. And again, note how far forward can you walk the hands to get that stretch that you want to come up onto the fingertips to make it a little bit more active. Using the breath for the feedback.
When you're ready, on an inhale, come back up onto the hands and knees just for a moment, walk the hands over, go to the other side, side bending off to the other side, set the hips back into that child's pose. And again, what do you want with the hands? Do you want them to be active? Do you want them to be less active? On your next inhale, just gently float up. Walk back to the centre. We're going to tuck the toes under, sit the hips back to the heels, then can you lift the knees away from the floor? Float the hips up into a down dog so that you're getting a stretch all through the back of the body, through the back of the legs, through the spine. Tailbone up towards the ceiling. Stay up on the balls of the feet if the back of the legs are tight, and maybe you pedal up and down a couple of times here. We're not going to stay here for too long. Just a couple of pedals. And then up onto the balls of the feet, nice and gently lower the knees back down. Untuck the toes. Walk the hands back. Slide onto your backside, bring the legs out in front. And then roll the spine back down. Take yourself into a long stretch. Reach the fingers and toes as far away from each other as you can. Maybe walking the hips a little bit further down the mat to get length in the waist. And bend in the knees, placing the feet flat on the floor. Roll onto your sides. Use your upper arm as a pillow. Bring your top leg up. Hold to the foot, ankle, or trouser leg. Bring the heel in towards your backside and then start to move that thigh back. Pushing the hips forward, tucking the ribs in, and taking that leg back. If you're meeting resistance, inhale away from that resistance and then exhale back into it. So not fighting with the movement. And then letting that go. Rolling onto your back. Go to the other side. So bring the knee in. Take hold of the ankle. Do the same thing on the other side. Just check that the ribs are in. Push the hips forward. And just gently move in and out. And then when you're ready to release that down, roll onto your back. Placing the feet down, hands down to either side of the hips. So do a few shoulder bridges just to move the spine in a different direction. So when you're ready, tuck the tailbone under, press the feet and the shoulder blades down, rolling up into shoulder bridge. Using your breath to pace it so we can do the breath like we do in Pilates, inhaling at the bottom, exhaling up, inhaling at the top, exhaling down. Or we can do one part of the breath up, one part of the breath down. Noticing how much movement you have or have not got in your spine as you're taking those rolls. And then when you're finished your next one, just letting it rest. If there's any other movement that your body is telling you that it needs or wants, give your body that movement. So we're going to move now into our Shavasana, into our Yoga Nidra, longer than we usually do. So grabbing your pillows and blankets, you might need a few more bits and pieces to make yourself more comfortable and more cozy if you're going to be here a little bit longer.
So as gently as you can, put in place your pillows, your jumpers, your socks, your blankets, so that we're not disturbing the peace that we have cultivated during that practice. Get yourself settled in, get yourself tucked in. When you get into your space, take an exhale like we did at the start. Their job, but it's time for them to let go, to move on. And just having a check in from the crown of the head to the tips of the toes. Does anything need to be adjusted or removed so that it can be still and at peace for the next 17-ish minutes? We've spent a lot of today's class being really gentle with our movement, being gentle with our breath. So just checking in. We still have this nice rhythm of breath, smoothly in, smoothly out, utilising the capacity of the lungs. And if it helps, imagining coolness and calmness coming in with the inhale and spreading throughout the body. And any fears, worries, tensions, angers, judgments, anything that doesn't need to be stuck in there, let that go with the exhale and breath. Breathing in that coolness and calmness, so that when we are presented with stresses and challenges of life, that coolness and calmness can help us respond to the situations rather than react. And that doesn't mean that we're not allowed to feel fear and anger and frustration, but it's so that we can do it in a way that feels appropriate for the situation at hand. And let's allow an intention or goal to come to mind. And set that intention or goal in a short positive statement, starting I am, bringing on to that anything that you feel that you want or need. And if nothing specific is coming to mind, I am is your complete statement. And then repeat that to yourself with feeling, awareness, and certainty 3 times. And then going to take a trip throughout the body, allowing the mind to jump from one part to the next.
We know this practice well, but try and stay focused on the subtle movement of the energy through the body rather than letting the mind wander off. So bring your awareness to the right hand and to the right hand thumb. The second finger, third, fourth, fifth. Palm of the hand, back of the hand, wrist, lower arm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, waist, hip, thigh, knee, calf muscle, ankle, heel, sole of the foot, top of the foot, right toes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The left hand thumb, second finger, third, fourth, fifth. Palm of the hand, back of the hand, wrist, lower arm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, waist, hip, thigh, knee, calf muscle, ankle, heel, sole of the foot, top of the foot, left toes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next, move to the back of the body and to the back of the head where it touches to the floor. The back of the head, the right shoulder blades, the left shoulder blades, the spine, the right buttock, the left buttock, the back of the right thigh, the back of the left thigh, back of the right calf, the back of the left calf, the right heel, the left heel. Next, move your awareness to the top of the head. The top of the head, forehead, both sides of the head, right eyebrow, left eyebrow, eyebrow centre, right eyelid, left eyelid, right eye, left eye, right ear, left ear, right cheek, left cheek, right nostril, left nostril, upper lip, lower lip, chin, jaw, throat, right collarbone, left collarbone, right chest,
left chest, middle of the chest, upper abdomen, lower abdomen, the navel, the right groin, the left groin, the right thigh, the left thigh, the right kneecap, left kneecap, the right shin, the left shin, right ankle, left ankle, right toes, left toes, the whole of the right leg, the whole of the left leg, both legs together, the whole of the right arm, the whole of the left arm, both arms together, the whole of the front and back together, the whole of the head together, the whole body, the whole body, the whole body. Have an awareness of the body and the contact points with the floor. Bringing your awareness to the space behind the eyebrows, that dark space, the inner space. And imagine this space is like a movie screen, and that screen is as high and as low and as wide and as far as you can see. Bringing your awareness into that space. And just observing, like a movie, whatever it is that you can see. There might be colours, there might be shapes, there may just be blackness. So observe without attachment and allow whatever comes through to come through. No controlling, no thinking, just observing. If you start to try to make things materialize, you might find that nothing materializes. So when we let go of trying and just observe, we may notice that things change. Let go of that space and bring your awareness back to your breath. Observe your natural flow of the breath. Notice the speed, the pace, the depth of the breath when it's been left to do its own thing. And as you bring your awareness back into your breath, we'll bring our awareness back down to the navel area. And as we did At the start of today's practice, we observed any subtle movement in around the navel area. Just having your awareness there, don't try and force any movements. Just observing. A gentle and natural expansion and contraction happens in this area. No forcing, no expectation, just observation. Then moving the awareness up into the chest. And observing if you can become aware of that subtle rising and falling of the chest with the breath. And again, no forcing the breath, no forcing any movement. Allowing the natural movement to occur. And next, move your awareness up to the nostrils. And just follow the flow of the air in and out of the nostrils. Observing if there's a difference in temperature from the inhale and exhale. Is there a difference in maybe pressure or force through one nostril than the other? At different times throughout the day, when we use the left side of our brain, we breathe more through the right nostril. When we use the right side of the brain, we breathe more through the left nostril, and that changes throughout the day. But also there are times where the flow is fairly even from left to right. So observe what's happening for you right now. No expectation, just observation. Letting go of all observations. Bring your mind back into your body. Allow that intention or goal that you set at the start of this yoga nidra practice to come back to mind. We're going to repeat that again 3 times. And if you can't remember what it is, know that the mind, the body have completely embraced and cultivated whatever your wish was. And allow I am to be the statement that you repeat 3 times with maximum feeling, awareness, and certainty. Relax all efforts. Start to become familiar with the position of your body lying on the floor. Be aware of the surroundings around about and start to listen to any sounds that you can hear, any sounds inside the building that you're in, and any sounds that you can maybe hear coming from outside. So I'm going to leave you here to bring yourself round in your own time. When you're ready to, any movements that your body needs, wiggling of fingers, toes, rolling about, maybe coming to lie on your side for a few rounds of breath before you sit yourself up. And only when you're ready to, do you sit yourself up and open your eyes, and then your practice of yoga and yoga nidra will be complete. Thank you so much.